The Federal Reserve has allowed let me just make this clear. This is strictly an opinion of mine, there's no fact to back this up, and there never would be. But the Federal Reserve has allowed the Treasury Department to paint the Federal Reserve into a corner. So the Federal Reserve is going to be stuck now. They have no direction to go to. They're not going to be stepping on wet paint. They just can't, because the Federal Reserve cannot afford for the Treasury Department cannot afford for the Federal Reserve not to continue to buy their debt. They have to. They have to buy their debt. We're producing too much. Now, Japan has picked up a lot of our debt lately. They had stopped for a while. They're back to the buying. That's a good thing. But it's not enough. We're putting out debt, $1 trillion every time we turn around. Somebody's got to buy that. China's not buying it. So we've got to sell it. And the Federal Reserve, the number one holder of our debt, is going to continue to buy. They have to. So they got to continue the quantitative easing. Then the Treasury Department has to be putting dramatic, big time pressure on the Federal Reserve not to raise interest rates. And the Federal Reserve's not going to separate themselves from the Treasury Department, because they can't have normalized interest rates. Because if they do, it's going to add another $1 trillion to the debt every year if we get around 3.5%. So I don't know how they're going to do that. So they've got to suppress interest rates at the very same time. So does that mean the Federal Reserve's just going to let the markets rule the day, and that we're going to have high inflation, overheated markets that's going to lead to hyperinflation, that's going to lead to a depression? Is that what they're going to do? Maybe. And maybe that's what this government and this regime wants. Just saying. So I don't know if that is true about what the assumption, and some might say wild assumption, that I just made about the Treasury Department leaning on the Federal Reserve. But look, logic says that it's kind of got to be. Hey, remember to click the subscribe button right here on the screen. And don't forget to hit the notification bell so you'll be notified when new content is added. And more importantly than anything, you don't want to miss all 3 live hours of Financial Issues every day from 9 to noon. And you can watch it on FISM.tv. That's FISM.tv.